Hey everyone, I already recorded this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and redo it because I have a little bit more information now and a lot more clarity on some things. So, Julius, originally when I recorded this, I recorded it right after my summoning video, which is, I mentioned in that video, which is minutes after he came out. So, um, it's been a couple hours and I've been using him a lot, and especially in PvP, and he is actually pretty good at countering Minerva here. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we're gonna be starting off with Minerva, which is probably not summon, especially because her counter is up, and a lot of people are probably gonna have that counter available. Um, Minerva, if you don't know, she does deal damage based on how much she heals, and with her one of her abilities, she can lower your HP, almost guaranteeing Julius to be his peak performance at all times when he's up against Mono Blue, at least Mono Blue with Minerva on the team. So if you're thinking about summoning, I wouldn't, just because first off, that which we just talked about, and second off, because this banner is kind of one of the worst we've seen for festivals. We'll take a look at the featured units. Minerva herself is okay. I don't think Mono Blue really needs Minerva, but she's a fine addition to it. She's nothing crazy like the other festivals, I think. I think Echidna's probably by far... No, I mean, Echidna and Daphne are both like neck and neck, I would say, because Daphne is just like a really solid unit, but Echidna's so unique with the fact of her field skill resetting, actually basically just resetting the field. I think it is very like underutilized, and now that we have Ram in the meta, purple Ram, with the protection that she can apply on battle, this is like the first time ever we can actually really fully take advantage of the field skill, because it's always been like this kind of neutral thing, but now we actually have a unit that can take advantage of it, and I think Echidna is going to be a lot more dominant going forward. But yeah, so just Minerva's kind of always been like the weak link, and then we have the three featured units, two of them being pretty outdated, one being probably one of the worst characters in the game, hands down. We don't even need to go over him. Then we have Kid Rem, which is okay. She was the first ever unit to use a shield, so that's pretty interesting. Other than that, she didn't really age well. I don't think Mono Green doesn't really have a spot for her, just because all the other up-to-date Mono Green units really focus around other green units. So you don't want to empty a slot by putting some old outdated character in. You want to utilize those new characters as much as possible. And then even if you do need an extra slot, I don't know if this Ram would be, the one you want to put in. Then we have Alcor. Alcor is not the best featured unit, mainly because pretty much everyone in the game already has this guy. If you don't, you're insanely unlucky, which is me, because during anniversary when he dropped, we got like 200 tickets for this guy, essentially guaranteeing at least most people would get him. Unfortunately, I was not one of them, but a lot of people already have this guy. If not, you were able to farm a lot of his shards, so you just don't really need all that much more. I'm at like 189 right now, 11 more shards, and I can get this guy for free. There's no point in me summoning for him, and I think I see it a lot of the same way for other people. He's a pretty good unit. He's been a staple in Mono Blue. I'm not too well versed in his kit, but I know he's pretty solid. But other than that, like it's just not worth. Just in total, like the entire banner is just not worth it. As always, we have other festivals, but they have insanely low rate. And overall, I just don't think this iteration specifically of this banner is just worth summoning, especially because we have the direct counter right under it with way more value, that being the step up banner and the actual banner itself. Then we have the memory that could potentially come with it. Not only just noticed this, someone in the Discord pointed it out, we actually have two free memories. We have the current one that we have in our box, and if you reach 400,000 points or something like that, I think it's 400,000 of like the feathers collected or whatever, you can actually get another of the memory that you can customize. So that's insane. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, you can have two memories straight up. So this guy has two potential memories that could work really well with him, and he's almost guaranteed because you have one of the guaranteed 1 out of 4 tickets. So just guaranteeing yourself a festival counter is just way more valuable. Going over what he does, we'll finally head on to it. Looking at the stats first: 16k HP, 800 defense, 187 agility, 2000 attack. Pretty solid. Nothing crazy. I'm surprised his HP and his defense are so low, but you kind of want them to be low because you want to get the hits taken up on you. You got a 40% leader skill to purple allies. Then you have bonus skills of HP, agility, and attack. Pretty solid. We'll hop into the kit here. On his basic, he does 600% power and receives 1 rage buff for 3 turns and cover for 2 turns. Then we have his passive. I don't understand. Actually, nah, never mind. I was gonna say I don't understand why he uses cover on his basic when he just brings it in with his passive. But I mean, what if that passive is removed? You know, it's always nice to just have cover in the kit. Either way, passive is receive protection for 3 turns at the start of battle. This is good because he's able to go around Echidna's field skill, but he's not Ram in the sense that she gives it to the entire team if they're all purple. So I would still recommend him run it with Ram either way. And then when allies health drops to 30% or less, receive shield for 20,000. This one says 20,000, but I read it in a previous version of my video. Yeah, it's 30,000. So I'll have to talk to the translators real quick about that typo. But yeah, 30,000 HP of shield for 2 turns and invincibility for 2 turns. When HP drops below 50%, increase attack and agility by 50%. Pretty solid trade-off. Then receiving fatal damage of 30% or higher of your HP, you survive with 1 hit, so, or 1 HP. So basically, if you're 30% or higher HP, nothing can kill you in 1 shot. They have to take an additional attack to do that. So that's really nice and very powerful, and that's what makes his character so great. His kit is kind of wonky without this by itself, without the survivability. So I'm really glad that they put it on his passive rather than putting it on his like gold memory or something like that. That would have been very frustrating. So that is one part is why he's very good. Then we have his skill 2. Physically attacks all enemies with 1200% power. This power of the skill increases the lower the HP. Additionally, if 50% or less HP, the skill pierces through invincibility. So overall, a very good unit to pair up with Ram. I think he actually works pretty solidly by himself, especially because he has survivability. And yeah, I really like this unit. I've been playing around with him. He's very strong. He's very fun, especially when you activate the 50% or lower and you get the increased stats. Very nice. He's actually, I've seen like one-shot entire teams just because of that, and he's not even awakened, or at least mine isn't, and it was really nice seeing that. So I think that was pretty cool. Then we're gonna get a little to his memory here. They just changed the whole Discord thing, so I gotta get used to it. Okay, so if unit is knight, they get defense, or the entire memory is knight restriction. So you have to have a knight character, which is Rhine, Julius, I think Felix. I think that counts for Felix. Then I don't know if there's any other characters. Excuse me. Then we have defense 31%, which is nice to help him survive. Then increase the action gauge when attacked. That's actually pretty neat. And then if 50% or lower HP, receive immunity against distraction. I think it's cool that he's immune to distraction, but you really don't need it, especially because you can just be immune to debuffs in general with someone else's buff. And then he obviously has protection, as well as if you're pairing him with Ram, he's going to get protection from that. So you can't remove the debuff immunity if you apply it on him. So he's going to be immune to everything, basically. So I don't know, distraction's kind of whatever. It's nice because he counts so much on his passive, but it's kind of whatever. Definitely not something you really need to go for. I do like the action gauge though. 30% on each hit is really nice. Then we have his free-to-play version, which is for the memory. It gets, I believe it is a rage stack every single time he gets attacked. It was at the end of turn, or at the beginning of his turn, but we found out that that was a translation error. So it is in fact when he gets attacked. I think I like it more because he can get attacked multiple times and he has cover. But if he didn't have cover, I think definitely at the beginning of the turn would have been better. But yeah, he has cover, so that's fine. He's going to be getting attacked a lot, so him having that is okay. And rage is really nice. I do think I prefer his free-to-play memory. If I do get the extra memory, which I'm trying to go for, I'm probably going to give it a Julius here, mainly because, you know, he's the only other unit that I have. But still, overall, I really like him and his pairing with Ram. Ram is kind of whatever by herself, but when she's with Julius, I really like the both of them. And then especially basically the full countering of Minerva. Minerva usually, whenever she pops her S2, she should just deplete your HP all the way down to like, I don't know, like 90% of your health. So basically she's always going to be proccing Julius. So you definitely don't want to fight Julius when you have a Minerva team. So just be aware of that. Overall, he's a lot better than I expected him to be. I'm way happier now than I was when I initially pulled him, because I actually know what he does and I kind of really vibe with his kit. Although I do wish I had a Ram, so I'm probably going to do her step ups. Ram is really neat, but I don't think she's really needed all that much to proc Anastasia. I think one nasty team actually I've seen is Anastasia, Ram, Minerva, and Birthday Leah. They literally just wiped me in like 2 turns. Like, I think Amelia, I had done like a basic hit because I didn't have any cooldowns. I was first with my Rhine. I basic hit, did nothing. Then Aaliyah just came in. She AoE'd my Shion down. And then what's her face? Minerva came in, hit me again. And then Anastasia like finished me off. It was like super nasty. It's like one of the nastiest teams I've ever seen. That combination in particular can be nasty with this Rem, but you know, I would need Ram, then I would need Birthday Leah, then I would need a festival character on top of that. So I think the better option would be Ram here, because I already have Festival Echidna. And overall, like, Echidna with, again, I say this like all the time, but Echidna with that protection on Ram's passive, that is insane, and probably one of the best duos in the game. I think it's going to be one of the best teams going forward for PvP. Like, I'm really interested to see how many whales run that team, because it's very strong. I think you basically just utterly shut down the other team. Like, I just don't see it being counterable, but I want to see more, because obviously I've been wrong before. Like, that's why I'm re-recording this video. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. I think he's definitely a good contender to summon. It really only depends on, you know, who you got for your tickets. If you got Ram, then it's a no-brainer. If you got Anastasia like me, I could see this Julius working by himself. So out of the two, maybe Julius first. I don't know. It could be Ram, or you want to finish that mono blue team that you've been having with Ram. Like, it really just depends on who you pull with your ticket. It's hard to decide. It really just caters person to person, so you have to make your own decision. But I'm just here to inform you, and hopefully you make a good choice. So good luck in your pools, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.